Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Steve Bracety, President and CEO for the Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce. And with me today in the studio is Mr. Jamie Kerr from the town of Prescott Valley, who is the new Economic Development Administrator. Jamie, welcome.
Thanks, Steve. It's a pleasure to be here. Glad to talk to you.
You know, you and I have been joined at the hip these past 3 months. And quite frankly, I probably talk to you more than I talk to my wife these days. It's been a fun ride so far.
It has been. And I just look forward to the continued partnership. We both jumped right in and hit the ground running.
True. So share with us, you know, I look at your resume. I see Northern Colorado University
of Northern Colorado at Greeley. And I graduated with a sociology degree.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So what would you want to be at that time in your life?
Actually, I was thinking about being an airline pilot, but
Wow.
I was looking at sociology because I loved helping people as well. So, unfortunately, the airline pilot thing didn't work out so well.
Didn't take off as planned, huh?
As planned, exactly. It didn't work out because after my first couple of test flights, it got too expensive, and
okay,
it was just a little bit cost prohibitive.
I understand. So then I see there's Wisconsin in there. There's Arizona. What brought you to Wisconsin and to Arizona?
I was born and raised in Colorado.
Okay.
I moved down here in 1992 after I graduated. I came down to play a week's worth of golf with my brother, and I never left.
Okay.
Went back to Colorado, packed all my stuff, and moved down here. Pretty much went to work for the Arizona Department of Commerce at the time in 92, and worked in the small business division till 96.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved up to what was called then national marketing, which was recruitment of business and helping businesses expand in the state. I created the rural program, or assisted creating the rural program then, which led to my traveling the state and helping all the rural communities attract new business as well.
Wonderful. And then, you know, now you're in Prescott Valley. What drew you to Prescott Valley, to this great community we live in?
Well, as you well know, I was at the Arizona Commerce Authority. So going back to your question about Wisconsin, I moved back to Wisconsin in 2013. So that my children could know the other side of the family, my wife's side of the family, and they had her mother was the last surviving grandparent. So we figured that was important, and education was hugely important. So we moved back there. Unfortunately, we separated, and I moved back to Arizona in 2018 and started back to work at the Arizona Commerce Authority. Mm-hmm. I basically took up where I left off and became the rural representative. So I just traveled the state, and long story longer, I came to Prescott Valley. I've been up here many times in assistance with some of the wonderful companies that we have here, help them expand and add new employees and great jobs up here. So when this opportunity presented itself, I was excited. I said, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to try it. It was more of a test for me to see if I, to see if I could compete with today's marketing world. As I haven't interviewed in probably the better part of 25 years. So it turned out very well, and I'm excited about it.
Well, I will share with you, as you already know this, I was on that interviewing panel.
You were?
You did well. Let's say that.
Okay.
You got the job, so you did really well.
Well, thank you.
So share with us, in your role, what are some of the attractions and draws that businesses can come to find in Prescott Valley?
First of all, you have a great workforce here, a young workforce, an attractive workforce. And I think about it from the state standpoint as regionally, because these businesses are looking for qualified, experienced individuals. And you have probably one of the best, if not the best, community colleges here with Yavapai College. Their technical programs and the C-Tech and all of those programs work very well and are attractive to new businesses looking to expand here or grow here. They can qualify and they can create programs specifically for those employees, which is phenomenal. The employers love that. They can go in and say, hey, I need 15 CNC, not only operators, but I need the people that can work on those machines.
Right.
And so that's where they'll do it. I'll give you a perfect example on the engineering side. Superior Industries, a huge manufacturer here, fantastic company, great employees and everything. He just recruited a couple of engineers out of Embry-Riddle to work on his equipment. And so it just goes to show that these kids have an opportunity to stay here instead of leaving the community for a high-paying job.
So there is a talent base here.
There is.
There is support from the community colleges, Yavapai College, and as a district governing board member, I'm happy to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing that. And also from Embry-Riddle.
Right.
So we can pull from different resources, basically.
Absolutely. And that's the most important thing. And that's what is a very attractive to new employers and existing employers for that
because there's
matter.
already an employee pool market here to
Right.
tap into.
Absolutely.
Great. Now, lots been in the news about TSMC. $165 billion, and that's billion with a B, investment within the state of Arizona. Can Prescott Valley see any ripple effect from that?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, you've already started. I've been working with a company in Prescott Valley named Granite Mountain Design. They build the cabinets. They are a second-tier supplier to TSMC, to Intel, and to all the fab makers, including, I think they even do some stuff for one of the companies up here in Prescott. But the most important thing is they're a second and third tier supplier, and they're constantly expanding because the need is greater. As they keep building these fabs and adding to these fabs, the demand is much higher. So they keep hiring. Now, that's one of the roles that I'm looking at. I want to attract the second and third tier suppliers that not only create the high quality jobs, but the high paying jobs for those individuals.
Now, a question I have, Highway Interstate 17, the I-17 construction is nearing completion.
Right.
And that's been a huge undertaking, but I'll tell you, having driven it recently, it's wonderful.
It is. It's fantastic. And having commuted for a couple of months in this transition.
You lived it.
Exactly. And it's amazing how much easier it is.
Do you think there's potential where people can live up here and drive to work at TSMC? And as far as the commute time, is that a reasonable commute time, you think?
I think it is, simply for the reason that if you look at it from the Valley standpoint, let's say I lived in Gilbert or Chandler and I was working at TSMC, the commute time is probably going to be a little bit longer from those places than it is from Prescott Valley to TSMC. So
some days you probably have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and leave your house at 5:30
and it happens
to work at 8.
It absolutely happens that way. So yes, I do. I think that that's a possibility. I think it's a real possibility.
So share with us some inside baseball. What's coming down the pipeline? Anything you can share with the listenership or viewership?
Nothing by name.
Okay.
But yes, I am actually courting 3 companies that are looking for expansion opportunities here. One of them's already an employer here, but they're looking to add 100 employees and build a new facility, which is, once again, high-paying jobs, great people, and they're looking to expand here. So that's a great opportunity. Mm-hmm. There are 2 other opportunities as it relates to the semiconductor industry that are looking up here as well, because the labor pool is packed down in Phoenix, and also if they're close enough to their vendor, TSMC, Intel, then it's just as easy for them to be here manufacturing and putting those jobs up here.
True. So can you share with us some long-term goals? Like, that's immediate. What do you see this a year from now, 2-3 years from now?
Well, I want to be able to grow smarter.
Okay.
And, creating maybe 3 to 4 companies a year that are smart growth and that do nothing but benefit the community and encourage the young people to stay here and work here and live here. Listen, we all have kids. I've got 2 boys, 16 and 19, and we encourage them to spread their wings. But we want to make sure that they have an opportunity to come home and work here, and that there's a job here for them that can be sustainable and that can be well within their means to raise their families here. That's the goal. That's the objective, is to keep those families here.
Perfect.
And create those jobs.
Yeah. What's the term we're trying to avoid? The brain drain, where talent leaves the marketplace,
right,
and goes someplace else.
Exactly.
We were trying to avoid that.
That's exactly what we're trying to do, and make sure that they have an opportunity when they come back to Prescott Valley that, wow, I can go back to work here and make a very livable wage and raise my family.
Awesome. So I have a couple of would you rather questions. Okay.
Okay.
Not to put you on the spot. These are just, there's no right or wrong answer. How's that?
Okay. Perfect.
All right. Trying to get some insight on your thought process. Would you rather be able to play every musical instrument or speak every language, and why?
Every musical instrument.
Okay.
My family has been very musical. As a matter of fact, I've kind of instilled that. I play guitar, and I learned
good?
No. And I also play the piano. I learned to play the piano to tune my guitar.
Oh, okay.
So I once again, I can't read a lick of music, but I can play by chord. So I encouraged my son to do it. So now he is going in as, he's going in as a sophomore, but probably a junior because of all the AP classes, but he plays trombone.
Oh,
he plays the guitar. He plays the drums. He can play the harmonica, all of those things. He even did a video of himself being a one-man band, which was fantastic.
Wow.
So just to be able to pass that on is phenomenal. So music.
Music?
Yeah.
Okay. And, real quick, what's your genre, your music you like?
I like the oldies. I'm a Beatles, Beach Boys.
There you go.
Even up to Lynyrd Skynyrd, Led Zeppelin. I like it all the old stuff.
Awesome. So my next question is, would you rather be able to see in the future or change your past?
See in the future.
Okay.
I want to see, and it just goes to our discussion and our conversation. I want to see Prescott Valley thrive. That doesn't mean a million new people here. I want to see them have quality, high-paying jobs. I want to see these students succeed and raise their families here.
Well, I think you touched on it best. Smart growth, grow smartly, utilize the talent already existing here, educate, train. They can have a job with a livable wage, raise a family, and really reinvest in the community.
Right.
Jamie, any parting words before we go?
I'm glad to be here. I do not regret one single second of my choice to move up here. I love it here. The people are fantastic here. Steve, you've become a good friend in such a short period of time.
I tell you, man, we talk daily now.
We do, and it's interesting some of the conversations that we've been having lately. But it's really good, and I look forward to the partnership, and I look forward to getting some of these new businesses here.
Maybe we'll have you back one day in the future. As we look forward to the future and talk about what we've been discussing the past couple of months.
Happy to do it anytime.
Hopefully be in a positive fashion too.
Absolutely. I hope so too.
Well, thank you, Jamie. I am Steve Bracety, President and CEO for your Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for tuning in today to PV Talks. We hope to see you soon.